Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, dear industry colleagues, but I'm not going to sing here. As it's a foreign language for me, you have heard that I'm German. I have put down my speech on paper, but I may elaborate a bit more. I just heard that I got 2 minutes more time, Sheriff. Thank you for that. Now let's see if the technology works. That was the wrong one. From the CV and the program and from this slide, you will have recognized that I'm sort of an oldie in the industry. And I can admit to you that I have earned every single gray hair in the past 40 years working on the show floor and searching for trends in exhibition design and stand construction. It has always been beneficial to me as a service provider to know about latest show trends and know how to implement them in our stand proposals for our exhibit clients so that they can achieve the best possible results from their trade fair investments and engagements. Technology is advancing so fast and the visitors' expectations are changing accordingly, and both have to be taken into consideration to achieve the most for the exhibitors' marketing spending. And we have heard quite a lot about that in the morning and in the 2 afternoon sessions from our colleagues on the stage. And I will repeat some of those ideas you have already heard, but mainly from the perspective as a service provider and as a consultant to the exhibitor client. So it may change the view slightly. I started my career becoming a partner as one of the early movers of the sustainability trend, although in those days nobody called it sustainability. We were one of the first developers and users of modular systems in the 1970s and early 1980s. Our company, 2 companies, one in Germany, one in the UK, were called Meissner and Mahler-Haley EXPO Systeme. As you will recall, sustainability is built on 3 pillars: environment, ecology, economy, and social issues. In those days, we did not discuss the ecological, environmental issues so much, but the main interest rested on the economic advantages of using modular compared to custom-built stand design and construction. But before I go deeper into this issue and these aspects, let me tell you about the structure of my presentation today. In the next 35 minutes, I will share a few information and pictures with you which I think are actually important to us. I have grouped them in these 3 sections, A, B, and C. And as I already said, I will take you through from the perspective of a consultant to the exhibitor. The first section is the trade fair and exhibition market in general. The global recession and the effects on exhibition stand design and construction did affect our industry for the last 7-8 years quite considerably. And on the IFES website, you see the link there on the screen. We are stating that because of budget cuts for live marketing activities, it has become necessary to change the way of engineering, pricing, printing, choice of materials to a more economical approach. Nevertheless, it is required to come up with striking designs to create attention and interest. New multi-layer materials, non-standard finishes, lightweight panels, perpetual materials, OSB slabs, all of those combine economic and ecological criteria for modern stand design. Financial models have been developed and tested during the post-crisis years to reflect the demand for multi-usable stands. A trade fair stand can be rented, purchased, financed by financial lease, and the material will be stored by the service provider and the stand builder. We have just discussed that in the Q&A session of the previous presentation. Using renewable resources combined with smart and efficient use of financial and economic ideas is a strong trend. And the good news is, exhibitors are planning higher budgets for the future. At least that is the outcome of the recent AUMA trade fair trend for 2015. Live marketing or face-to-face marketing or experiential marketing, these three words describe in total our market. And there's a strong request in our industry for the integrative approach in the planning process of all live experiences and classic media. I like to call it the reinvention of the AIDA formula. Don't mix that up with the famous opera by Verdi. The AIDA formula has been developed some 100 years ago when marketing really was on the first steps of being invented. And AIDA is a formula formed by attention, interest, desire, and action. And some trade show solutions which worked in the past may be outdated and not working for modern-day attendees anymore, but trade show stands must attract visitors within seconds. And this works well today with technology and games. We heard that this morning. This creates memorable experiences and the desire to learn more about this exhibitor. Action is then only one step away. We also heard a lot of things this morning about the digitalization of the exhibition business. Today, we know more about the expected attendees of a trade fair or event even before the show starts. Research with relevant data collection has to be thought of well in advance of your next show. That shall have an important influence on concept and design of your booth, of your stand. The discussion, if virtual, will distract from live show. We already heard that in the previous discussion. I'm of the same thinking, is not the most serious discussion anymore, but the question is how to intelligently use the integration of both. Embracing the digital, Exhibition Industry 4.0 is the motto of this year's UFI ISU Summer University in Cologne in June. So this highlights how important this issue is. Big data, we heard about that. Big or small data. How much data is enough, writes Barry Ziskind, the UFI's community manager, in one of his latest blogs. This is not only a question for organizers, but also for the exhibitor and their service providers. We increasingly ask our clients following questions before we sit down to develop a stand concept and design. It's not as academic as what Skip presented this morning to us, but at least it helps us designing a fit to the task stand to our client. It's the question, who is the visitor? What type of persons do we look for? Are they influencers, early movers, or what are they? What is their psychological situation made of? Why is he or she coming to the show? What does they want or dream of? So design your campaigns around the needs and wishes of your potential clients. Take the retro perspective, trade fairs have developed from the medieval Messe. That was the marketplace in the church courtyards in Europe, in Germany. So go to where the audiences wait for you, and I will show you later on some examples. The audiences do not wait only for us and for your exhibitor in the exhibition halls. They also attend other places. Therefore, we are not asking for big data, but for data which help us to focus the efforts of our clients, of our exhibitor clients, to customize. We heard a lot about apps and other things from Corbin Ball this morning, and so I rushed through this list of what can be done in the following minute, but I will highlight just one or two things there where we can exploit the mobile technology as an exhibitor. I think that if you use cross-marketing opportunities for memorable experiences, like combining your messages with offering free rides by public transport or by Uber, or offering free parking space, telling your visitor or the visitor of your exhibitor where hotel and accommodation is cheap and available, making appointments on the stand with your stand team members, all of that would be an intelligent use of mobile technology. And also what we have seen in the past is using badge scanning or eye beacons at each exhibit of a stand, which provides then the exhibitor with a lot of wealthy information about the interest of the visitor, and also helps the visitor to receive the requested information quickly. This is a good basis for the post-event follow-up, marketing and sales activities. And it gives the data needed for future pre-show marketing. Using social media, again, is a point which Corbin Ball has been highlighting this morning as well. But social marketing, social media as an exhibitor is the question, will you use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube or not? But there probably you have a lot to say about your exhibit, pre-show and even after show. So why not think about intelligent integration of these media to your other marketing activities? An old advertising rule says you need 7 contacts, 7 steps of personal communication to win a client. And this is much easier nowadays by using social media around a trade fair participation than ever. So think about it. This is a new product. We have seen also 2 or 3 examples this morning from Corbin Ball about the use of a social wall at an event where event participants' posts will be projected on a wall, and you can also use that in a bigger exhibition stand. Globalization of the exhibition business. This is one of the main tasks and topics the IFES, the International Federation of Exhibition and Event Services, is talking about these days. And what we have experienced is that we are at the beginning of a new Pacific Asian epoch. It is only 200 years ago that Asia contributed 60% to the world economic production. 60%, 6-0, from Asia, 200 years ago. 50 years ago, it has been less than 20%. And for the next 15 years, it is expected that it will increase to well above 50% again. And that's where our future market is, and I can tell you that's why I'm here. A growing number of companies realize the value of exhibiting abroad. US and European companies take advantage of growing shows and exported trade fair formats in Eastern Asia, India, and the Middle East. The US-based Exhibitor magazine has conducted a survey just recently and found that more than 50% of American exhibitors were exhibiting at trade shows in other countries. The pictures shown are two examples of transcontinental cooperation. The Zering company, that's the left corner down, has been built in Seoul and Dubai by colleagues of mine for this German client. And the EXPO, the European Patent Office stand, has been built in San Diego, Chicago, Vancouver, Toronto, also by American partners from us. And within Europe, we build it ourselves. And the two pictures show different exhibitions, different trade shows where the stand, the same design, same general design, using system covered by individual panels, so it's a mix of system and modular, and we can build that all over the world with the same visibility. These two above-mentioned trends already have a great impact on our industry and us as a service provider. And we are connecting into worldwide networks of colleagues so that we can service our clients from Europe to exhibit in Asia and the Americas, and vice versa. Colleagues from the Americas, Korea, China, India, and Japan are using our experience for stand design and construction in Europe. The International Federation, the IFES, is providing such a network with more than 200 individual service companies and 15 national associations, possibly 16. We are just talking about that with KIDA, your Korean association. They are planning to become a member of IFES as well, to use this network, and we would be happy to have them in our family. This network is active in the field of live marketing and exhibitions, and in mid-June, you see the organizing committee there on the picture. In mid-June, we will meet in Vienna in Austria this year with more than 200 attendees for the IFES World Summit. The next grouping of trend ideas or trends I have spotted I put under the heading Exhibition Concept Design. What is design? What is concept design? The Latin word designare means indicate by means of distinctive signs, using forms, graphic signs, symbols, words, storytelling, sounds, colors, odors, textures, foods and drinks. And we are designing with these tools, we are designing experiences. Experiences have to fit to the target group. The target group is more and more a small group of individuals. It's getting smaller and smaller. Consequently, the trend of personalization has become important in live marketing as in all other marketing instruments. We have to customize each exhibition stand and design the architecture around the stand concept and the planned experiences. And one main tool of doing that is storytelling. Storytelling and theme worlds for concepts deliver content and surprise. Storytelling as a trend has been proved by the latest FarmUp Award. That's an annual award for stand design and events. This award has been awarded to the categories architecture, cross, events and specials, and all rewarded projects have been able to tell a story. Complex topics and technologies are often fairly abstract and difficult to present in an understandable way. Engineering applications and machinery can be displayed in a physical manner. Ideas and information technology is more difficult and need a different approach here to see in two awarded concepts. Mercedes is telling how technology prevents collisions on the left-hand picture, and the other exhibitor is presenting bathroom interior in an adequate scenography. Memorable experiences have to touch emotions and create deeper engagements. And one way to do that is telling stories. Riding a bike and thereby generating electric power to power up the Carrera cars, that is a story of sustainability which fits in the Greenpeace CI and is engaging, as you see here, the whole family. Brand experiences. Brand spaces, visitor centers are communicating platforms to let your customers and the public experience your brand. Here are two slides taken at the latest Barcelona show, the World Mobile Conference, and both are small stands with a big brand experience. Brand spaces allow hands-on products and production methods, and using it for internal and external events. This exhibitor has been also exhibiting at the Barcelona show and also afterwards at the CeBIT with a smaller stand, but using the same parts there, same components, and they have been shipped from Barcelona to Hanover and been installed there again. A brand space in the city of Barcelona alongside the World Mobile Conference by Huawei, you see on the left-hand side. That was in the streets of Barcelona alongside their huge stands in the exhibition halls. But here they approached the direct consumer, and so it's a good combination of using brand experiences in the streets of Barcelona. And for us as service providers, also these things are interesting to build. And this happens more and more. On the right-hand picture, you see a brand experience from the city of Hamburg at the last IMEX exhibition in Frankfurt. And the brand of Hamburg is here presented by the currywurst, which people say in Hamburg has been invented in Hamburg. The people from Berlin think that's invented in Berlin. So it's an ongoing discussion. And in the end, the Düsseldorf people think it's invented in Düsseldorf. But I can tell you, it's a German specialty, and it's nice to have, even with champagne. And also, the brand Hamburg it's the biggest port in Germany, the second biggest port in Europe, and it's famous for shipyards and for the Reeperbahn. Many of you who have visited Hamburg also know that. So you can see all these icons there on that stand. And you won't believe it, the top left photo I took yesterday here in one of the malls downstairs. It's an LG brand experience they put up there for the new technology. And it shows what brand experience is about. And it also is an example for what I always try to tell my young people and in our industry. The best trend spotting for us as service providers is walking malls, is going to the theater, going to the opera, and learning from other technologies, stage technologies in the opera houses, in the theaters. There's a lot of things we can learn for designing and constructing good and interesting exhibition stands, trade fair stands, which can transport experiences. And that leads over to the next very important trend. Last year in FarmUp and in Germany, FarmUp together with the Hanover Fair, they organized conferences around the theme multisensory. That means using all senses. Lasting impressions on audiences, that is the objective of utilizing techniques to address all senses of the target person. We already heard this morning, one picture is saying more than 1,000 words, and a video possibly is saying even more. We all know that. But multisensory experiences leave an even stronger impact than just a picture. Experiences are made through the eye, the ear, the nose, the taste, and the touch. And I would also like to mention that these 5 senses are complemented and completed by the 6th sense, which may be utilized by a good designer. Did you hear of the O-phone? Anyone heard of the O-phone? I just read about that in preparing this speech to you. That is a development of a Harvard professor last year. And the O-phone receives and creates scents, which you can smell, to make messages more memorable. And they have tested that between Harvard University and Paris and back, so you need on both ends, you need these O-phones, of course. But this shows what we can expect in the future. Also in this respect, it's something I have to tell Corbin about, because he missed that out this morning. It's really the newest technology. Coming to the sense of touch, it's said that the sense of touch is our sense of truth. Any message transported through haptics will be understood better. Every trainer knows that. Every salesman knows that if you give a client something to play with his hands, he will memorize what you have told him much better and take a positive decision. Hugging your kids is much more intensive than sending a WhatsApp message to say goodnight to them. So do not underestimate the touchiness of a well-printed business card on a nice carton material. Although people say that modern trade show technology has made the business card a thing of the past. RFID chips are in. But the handing over of a business card still shows respect to your visitor if you do it right. We have already heard a lot about technology, so I also go through the slides very quickly and just highlight a few ideas and experiences I've made in the past 1 or 2 years about technology. Incorporating QR codes. You have seen the Oculus Rift goggles, of course you have seen them. But incorporating QR codes in the exhibits and graphics sometimes can help to enhance the experience of the visitor. The usage of webcam for the construction phase, we have done that already 5-6 years for one client. He sent these webcam photos to his headquarters, and people could watch the stand build then, and they could also watch what was going on during the showtime on the stand, and they did that worldwide. It was one of the big mineral oil companies, and they showed the results of a German Essen-based, in Essen, city of Essen-based show to their headquarters in the States, in London, and it was very helpful for the marketing manager to do that. Green screen photo sessions, which you see here, we have just done lately and incorporated that in stand design ideas and stand concepts. These photos were then sent to a multi-touch big table, and the visitor could send on his photo in the back with a background of anything you can put behind that, which was related to the exhibitor. I show that stand to you later on, to their friends, family, whatever, and say, guess where I am. And so it made a whole story of the experience of visiting a stand. Another photo from the Barcelona show showing the Nokia use of large LED screens. That's one corner of the stand where these photos changed all the time and really made a good experience of Nokia products. Sorry. So here you see a multi-touch table with a crowd standing around there, and they could experience the seating of the German Bundestag, the German parliament. So they could touch any place there, and they could learn who of the parliamentarians is sitting on which chair, and that is an example of gamification plus information, a good mix of infotainment. And this multi-touch table was also used for the green screen photos to be sent on to their friends. Thank you. I saw that. Sustainability, another trend since, I would say, at least 20 years, because 20 years ago, Auma and FAMAP developed a program and a brochure, The Ecological Way to Appear at a Trade Fair, with clear suggestions for planning and implementation of environmentally compatible stands. But then this trend has been forgotten about for the last 19 years, and it's now coming again. We already talked earlier on about the environmental ideas of multiple use of stand design. Today, we can offer carbon-free exhibition stands. We have a web-based CO2, carbon dioxide calculator for our project managers and designers, with which we can calculate the carbon output of the stand construction as well as logistics and I&D. Through the German FAMAP Sustainability Foundation, we can offer carbon dioxide compensation with a forestation project in Nicaragua. Environmentally more compatible is the use of electronic brochures, online ordering of brochures, standalone or built-in multi-usable kiosks, which you see here, which have been used in both shows, the World Mobile Com and the CeBIT, as part of an exhibit, for selection of interesting literature for download and email mailing. So less counters, more touch screens, more interactive screens, and spending less on structures and more on technologies is the trend we see at the moment. So let us look at the third area where we have spotted trends: stand construction, I&D, and materials. Rules and regulations we have been talking about here with Korean colleagues yesterday. There is a trend that technical rules and regulations become more and more international and rigid. Organizers of trade fairs and hall owners take responsibility for health and safety in the halls. You see here pictures in one Congress Center where it's shown that the workers should wear helmets and safety shoes and all of that. So it's promoted the safety and health and safety in the halls. We are all interested in a zero accident policy and less waste strategy. If you see these pictures, you will understand what I'm talking about. This, what you see here, is neither safe, nor efficient, nor environmentally acceptable. It is not sustainable. So sustainability in the exhibition halls require the cooperation of all involved teams, and it requires clean halls, clean gangways, and we all have to work together. The collaboration between the organizers, the stand builders, the venue owners has to become more strong in the future. And here you see pictures where ÖFI, on the left picture, ÖFI, IFIS, and KIDA are signing an MOU to work together. And on the right-hand side, it's a signage of an MOU between EELA, the International Exhibition Logistics Association, and IFIS. They have also the same issues to work on. The logistic people cannot deliver stand material if the gangways are full. Now let me just show you a few slides on stand design and stand construction trends I have spotted. You see here latest photos I have taken about modern lighting developments using energy-saving LED lights, which are also cost-saving in the medium and long term. Again, LED lights, spotlights, used in just recent stand constructions. Textiles and fabrics are used more and more often to create rooms, spaces, fascias, and new print technologies and new materials make that possible, what you see here. Exhibition flooring is getting growing attention. Not only questions like raised floor or not, ramps or steps are being discussed, but also the surface of the flooring. Solid floors, natural materials, wood and stone decors, glass and slate, high-gloss flooring, different types of carpets and paddings, OSB or chipboard panels. And even more individual touch can be brought to the stand with the so-called photo flooring, which you see on the left photo there, in a tent for Buenos Aires at the Harbor birthday last year in Hamburg. And on the right-hand side, you see floor covering on the wall as well as on the floor for a scenographic urinal at an exhibition. Furniture is also a good tool to communicate CI and CD. And plants and green walls are trendy in interiors and exhibitions. These have a pleasant appearance, they absorb dust and sound, improve the air quality by adding humidity and reducing carbon dioxide. This booth for Donstroy company is a combination of ecological and technological themes. Two techniques were used as an opposition: big wall with live plants on the left-hand side and a PDP video wall on the right-hand side. This eye-catching pattern together with green oases creates attractive image. Last but not least, modular and scalable stand design for multi-usable stands. Design elements like colors, types, fonts, logo positioning, etc. will be defined in every CD corporate design handbook, but the individual stand still has to be flexible to adapt local and intercultural differences. It also has to be open for adjustments and choice and positioning of exhibits as well as different wishes for the catering of visitors. For example, coffee in Europe, tea and hot water in Asia. This modular custom-built stand for the Deutsche Bundestag is scalable for different stand sizes and types and shall be used for more than the next 5 years throughout Germany on 10 shows annually. The furniture, flooring, lighting structure, everything has been developed individually and constructed custom-built, but it is modular. And for the planning procedure, there has also been produced a modular mock-up model in 1:100 in 3D printing, also a new technology which is now used more often by us. So, coming to a conclusion, there is no trend, there is no one main trend, but I would make a proposal to you: do what your gut feeling is telling you. Ask your intuition, your sixth sense. Do the unexpected. Do not ask if it is allowed. Risk a surprise. Be authentic and make the experience memorable.